All right, it's finally time. I am on my way to my local GameStop. Curious to see what the line's like. I know they pre-rung everybody, but curious to see, how many people are there hanging out or if people are waiting in their cars. Since it's been a long time since a lot of people have done a midnight release, let alone a midnight console release. Since we didn't really get those for the Series S, X, and PS5 since those came out during COVID times. I think really the last console midnight release I went to was for the PlayStation 4 all the way back in 2013. So it's going to be interesting to see what the situation's like there. If there's a line, I'll probably go and mingle with people and hang out for a little bit. So let's go check it out. And it appears people are lined up. You can't really see it from my car, but yeah, I'm going to go get in line. And I'm back home. Yeah, that was a good time. It was nice to actually get to another midnight launch because I don't know if we're going to get any more console midnight launches like this. I don't know how long GameStop's going to be around. But no, it was cool getting to do at least one more. The people in line were cool. They did a good job moving everything along. When we rang out earlier, they gave us all numbers, which I didn't realize until we got there. They lined us up in numerical order to make the process pretty quick, and we were all given our bags and sent back, and it was a pretty smooth experience. But you're not here to hear me yap and tell my story. You're here to see what's in here and do an unboxing. So let's get this open and see what's in there. All right, so what all did I get? I got, well, the least exciting things first. I got a Joy-Con charging grip because, well, I've always found those useful if you're needing a second controller. I, of course, had to get a Pro controller because I'm a big fan of using the Pro controller. I also was hesitant to get one of these, but I got Street Fighter 6 because I want to see what the game key cards are like. I also had to get one of these. Amazon canceled my Express micro SD pre-order, and these were actually the same price at GameStop. Actually, they were $10 cheaper than they were on Amazon. So I got a 512, and that was actually all they had left. And if you bought the warranty on the system, they threw in a tempered glass screen protector. So we'll get all of this aside because I'll do separate unboxings for the Pro controller and the grip just to show those off. But what you really want to see is what's in here. So here we have the Switch 2 itself, and I got the Mario Kart bundle. And let's get up a little bit. And typically Nintendo doesn't have any tape on these, but it appears they do. So let me go grab scissors real quick, and we'll have to do an awkward cut. Okay, so let's get this open. So I think this is the first time I've seen scissors on a Nintendo system in a minute. Not scissors on a Nintendo system, tape on a Nintendo system. I'm tired. Okay, so we've got our right Joy-Con here, which feels like a Joy-Con. We'll do a comparison to the OG Switch in just a moment. We have our left Joy-Con as well. Nothing out of the ordinary. I see the, I was wondering how these little triggers work, but it looks like when you pull that trigger there, it activates a plunger of sorts. Then we have the Switch 2 tablet itself, which very much looks like a regular Switch, and I'm already getting dog hair on it. I'm gonna get that screen protector on before we get it hooked up. And let's see, what else do we have in here? I guess that is, yep, we have the Mario Kart World download code. Be nice if they actually had space to put a physical cart in there. Interesting, we get a ultra high speed HDMI that certainly looks like NVIDIA font and branding. There's no NVIDIA branding, though we do know, let me double check. Nope, it's just HDMI. That looks very NVIDIA. Granted, these are Switch 2 branded. Then we get our new, well, these are interesting. The new Joy-Con brackets. And I guess because these are magnetic, nobody had actually really looked at these. I never really used them, not brackets, but the wrist straps. I never really used them on the original Switch, to be honest with you. Then we have a standard Joy-Con grip, which again, I just wish that they would just add the USB-C to all of these. It would make life so much easier. But yeah, this will probably not get any use at all like the original one. Because I find, you find yourself in a situation where you need to charge, they're no good. The power brick, which is, I'm surprised to see this is actually a dedicated power brick. With the original Switch, it was just a AC adapter. And of course, the USB-C cable to go along with it. And the dock. Let's get the dock out of here. And it's a dock. So interesting feeling. It actually feels, the original dock felt a lot more hollow. This actually feels pretty substantial. Let's see how you open this. Okay, so just prise off. So you just pry that back section off, and then there's your HDMI and USB-C. And interestingly, they actually put a network adapter port in there and 2 USBs on the side. So pretty cool. All right, time to get it hooked up and do the system transfer. And since I know Gronk Gaming, and I know plenty of you have a touch of the tism, let's take a quick look at this box. So this is the Mario Kart bundle. You see there's just a sticker here, a literal sticker, where you get this slip of paper inside. Yay. But yeah, nothing really remarkable on here. No cross sells. Just there's a GameStop sticker there. Yeah, just the Nintendo logos and a picture of the unit. This is very, very similar to the standard Switch box. Pretty boring, to be honest. I honestly haven't seen a box this boring since the original PlayStation 2's blue box, and even that blue box had presents. This is just 2017. I wish they had done something a little bit bolder, a little bit different, but hey, this is all they need to sell it, apparently. So there you go, there's the box. Okay, so we've got the tempered glass screen protector on. Hey, you can see me. How's it going? Yeah, so here's the top of the unit. Here's the bottom. You can see they have that dual USB-C setup here. The game card cover is just the same spot the original Switch was. And I like that there's a bigger indent here. It's actually, you don't need fingernails like you did on the OG Switch or even the OLED to get that open. I was looking for the SD card slot, and it is actually underneath the stand port right here. So we'll go ahead and get the SD card in there. And yeah, this stand is pretty sturdy feeling. It feels like there's maybe like a metal in here. I'm not quite sure, but good snap to it. And yeah, let's get some Joy-Cons on. I haven't even powered this up yet, but let's see. The magnets actually does feel a lot more sturdy than I was expecting. I was kind of just expecting, just kind of magnets on here with a little bit of pull, but no, that is on there. And let's check that. Oh, that is interesting. All right, well, let's power it on. Let's see, does it come charged at all? Yes, it comes with a charge. And there we got our boot up. All right, well, let me get the dock set up, and we'll get this docked to the TV. Oh, and I guess real quick too, let's just compare this to the original, or at least the OLED. And yeah, the Switch 2 is a bit wider, as you can see here, but it's not that much bigger. It doesn't seem that, I mean, the screen definitely is bigger, and despite this being an OLED, I will say this screen isn't bad. On camera, the OLED definitely is brighter and more vibrant, but for just being a standard IPS, this Switch 2 screen isn't bad. The OLED definitely beats it on viewing angles, though. I'm sure that they will probably come out with an OLED model of this in due time. While we're at it too, let's do a quick comparison with these docks. So here is the OLED dock. Obviously I have the Tears of the Kingdom version, and here is the Switch 2 dock. And as you can see, yeah, the OLED, which is about the same size as a standard dock, it's not as wide, but let's see, can we stack these up in a way that makes sense here? It's about the same thickness. Really much, they didn't change any of the ports on the back, so it's like for like, but this one does definitely feel heavier than the original Switch and the OLED dock. All right, since I'm currently setting up my Switch and my Joy-Cons don't have that great of a charge, I guess this is a good time to unbox my Pro Controller. So let's see what we got in here, and let's see how easy it connects. Again, this tape, there we go. There we go, okay. Zoom out just a little bit here. So what do you get in here? You get a USB-C cable, which is done in black instead of the charcoal they were using before. And let's see, mummified in here is a Switch 2 Pro Controller. So this looks remarkably similar to the original Switch Pro Controller, except you have these back buttons here, which feel nice and clicky. The top feels the same. It's a shame they don't have analog triggers on here. You just have digital. There's the C button there. Yeah, this feels remarkably similar to the Switch Pro Controller. Now, it feels similar, but this actually feels heavier. Size-wise, the OG Switch Pro Controller is actually a little bit bigger. This has, like, I think a bit wider grips. Let's see how this feels in the hand compared. Now, this feels very good. This feels nice and light, but it also feels solid. Plus and minus feel a little cheap. Now, they're raised, whereas here they were not. These buttons were not flush, but definitely not raised. Everything on here feels good. The D-pad feels exactly the same as what was on the original Pro Controller, and that's a good thing. But yeah, there you go. Let's get the let's see how easy it is to get this connected to my Switch 2. One quick thing to point out too is that these new USB-C cables are thinner and way more flexible than the old Switch 1 USB-C connectors. They're also a slightly darker plastic. I don't know if this is indicative of them not lasting as long, but these, I've had all of my original cables since 2017, and I will say that these new cables definitely feel lighter and cheaper. So hopefully, again, that's not a quality issue. Maybe it's just a choice of using lighter cables. Are they the same length? And no, the new cables are actually surprisingly just an inch longer. But yeah, we'll see how these hold through the test of time. So let's take a quick look at how the Joy-Con wrist straps work and how these connect. I probably, as I mentioned, won't be using these, but I'm sure somebody's going to be, hey, how do these work? Well, you just line up the plus or the minus or the color this time around, and they just, do they even slip on? Are these magnetized? I guess, okay, so they go on bottom first, and voila, there you go. And you have your S, L, and SR buttons there. And if you're using the right one, you got a really awkwardly placed analog stick. And to get this off, you just press the release button and it pops it forward and you can take it off. And we'll appease the gods of autism who are watching. And again, with the blue one, you go bottom down, voila. This one, obviously better analog stick placement, but yeah, your buttons are all the way over to the left. So yeah, I've never been a big fan of just using Joy-Cons with these. So they will just go in my little bin down below where I keep random accessories. But yeah, there you go. Here are the Joy-Con 2 grips. Oh, quick little thing. Yeah, if you wanted to mix and match colors, I just noticed when I was putting these away, yeah, there is a minus side here. So if you wanted to have the red one on the blue one, you totally can do that. So there you go. Neat little feature. I guess this stops the issues people had with the first Switch Joy-Con straps. Not grips. I don't know why I keep saying grips. These are straps. So yeah, you can use these either color, either way. Again, we can put again, there's a plus, there's a minus. You put the bottom in first, clicks on, boom, there you go. And you have your wrist straps. Hooray for wrist straps. All right, let's do another quick unboxing, this time with the charging Joy-Con grip. So this one is the one that actually has a USB-C port at the top. I don't know why they didn't just, I know why, it's greed. It's greed, it's Nintendo. But let's get this cut open, and yes, there's nothing remarkable on these boxes at all. They are very plain. I think Nintendo's going for like, hey, look, we're the Apple of gaming. Well, let's see what you get in the box. So you get a USB-C cable. That is handy. I'm glad they include that because I don't know if the original charging grip, I think it did. It's probably why I have so many USB-C cables. But you get one of those, and you get this in the box, just a foam paper. And surprise, surprise, it is just basically this. This is the one that you get with the system, and this is the one, it's clear. I wish that the Pro controllers were clear because I do like clear plastic. It's nice smoky gray. You get your USB-C at the top, whereas here you got nothing. So we can compare this to the original Switch charging grip. With this, I actually had to press the release buttons on the back of each Joy-Con to get that out, and you can see there is a very different aesthetic going on because this guy connects magnetically. So let me go grab my Joy-Cons and we'll see how this all connects. And out of morbid curiosity, let's see what you get with a game key card. Now, these have been highly controversial. These are basically the equivalent of what you'd get with a game on Xbox or PlayStation, where the game just is an unlock and you have to download it physically to your system. I don't like the idea of these. They could have just put the whole game on a cartridge, but new console allure. Plus, I wanted to see what's in here and how these operate for you, the people. So let's get a little cut in here. And also, too, I just wanted a game to open since I'm stuck with a digital version of Mario Kart World. that open here. All right, do you get anything in here? Oh, not going to show that. Okay, so some selective editing here because they put the code for the season pass right there. Okay, yeah, it's just a red card. Nothing really remarkable here. Interesting that you do get, nope, that's not a reversible case, unfortunately. But there you go. Nothing too much to say about these. Let's compare this to, say, an original Switch game. Are these just, yeah, same thickness? They're just red. Anything different on the back? Yeah, these are basically like for like with original Switch games. This is kind of evocative of the Game Boy Color games, that where the Game Boy Color enhanced games would come in black, the Game Boy Color only games would be clear. But yeah, there you go. There is a game key card and what it looks like. And also too, you can see here, I just noticed this, in the top right, there's a little key icon. So I guess that's your indicator as to whether or not you have a full game on a cart or it is a key card. So there's a game key card. Okay, I put in Street Fighter. I forgot that on the Switch you have to close the software. We're in the store now, but let's go back and just see how this behaves. Okay, so when you pop in a game key card, it's going to give you this prompt. To use a game key card, you need to download data. Sure, why not? Let's see what the speeds are for this. So if we look here, how fast is the Switch? So it seems like it's going, I have pretty good internet, but this doesn't seem like it's anywhere near as fast as, say, Steam. On Steam, if I were to download something like Street Fighter 6, which surprisingly I don't own there yet. But yeah, it would be a matter of minutes to do so. So this kind of looks like there's some parity between you know, what you're getting on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. So not much of an improvement, but there you go. That's basically what happens when you put a game keycard in and how it behaves. And you're welcome, since I made the investment in that. But yeah, this will now conclude the unboxing and initial impressions video. And I'm going to have a lot more impressions and a lot more things to say in the coming days and weeks. So stay tuned to Gronks Gaming for more Switch 2 content. This is Extra Zero. So stay tuned to Gronks Gaming for more Switch 2 content.